Hello, guys, and welcome to Season 4, Episode 6, Mentor Characters with Adam B. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Inked Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest with me to help me talk about mentor characters and how they function within a story. So let's give a very warm welcome to Mr. Adam Vineyard as he's joining us today. How are you doing today, Adam?
Good. How are you doing? I'm glad to be here.
I am doing phenomenal, and I'm so glad to hear you say you're doing well. For those of you who don't know who Adam is, he is a young author, creative producer, AI illustrator, and a lifelong lover of all things cool. He is currently working on preparing to present his fantasy sci-fi series, Explorers of Somnium, to the world, which is about a middle schooler in a red jacket trapped in a paradise dream world. And more on a personal level, he plays guitar, believes in all good things. I highly encourage you guys to check out his amazing website, which I have gotten to explore a lot, which is adamvineyard.com, where you can find out more about Adam as a person and also more about his project, which I have loved ever so much. Now, I'm pretty sure I just butchered the name of your world. I am so sorry.
No. You got it perfectly right.
Okay, great. I was like stressing over that this entire time. So we're going to go ahead and jump in the episode, Adam, with the very first question we have, because honestly, we both know that having a solid mentor character in a story is a really great thing to help a hero grow. But the biggest question that I asked you, that is like a tongue teaser for all of us, is do you think that heroes always have to lose their mentor?
Well, that's a good question. I think so. The mentor character, their job is to help the hero overcome their challenge, and that's their primary goal.
Yeah.
And um, heroes, as long as the mentor doesn't do the hero's own challenge by himself, then the mentor doesn't have to die. The reason why authors kill off the mentors is so they can give room to the heroes so that they can conquer their challenge themselves. So like Dumbledore, he died because he was protecting Harry from Voldemort. But
Yeah.
once Dumbledore died, then Harry could take on Voldemort by himself.
So yeah, I agree with that a lot because if the mentor like takes on the role of the hero, then that defeats the purpose of the hero having to go on this journey to grow. So I
Right.
totally agree with you on that. That makes complete sense.
Yeah, and it's the hero's own journey, and it wouldn't make any sense if the mentor um, did the challenge himself. So,
I mean, we missed the mentor's journey. Like we kind of missed their journey, so their life is not really benefiting us
yeah,
in that stance. Which I don't always believe that the mentor character has to die, but sometimes I'm like, you're done.
yeah.
You're done.
It really depends on whether the mentor is a protecting mentor or a guiding mentor. Like, as long as the mentor isn't going to conquer the hero's own challenge, they can still sort of be on the side, offering encouragement.
Yeah.
Um, like for my own mentor named Travis the Sheep, he,
Who's ever so fun. I love him
yeah,
so much.
yeah, he just helps Jerry on the side by offering encouragement. He never defeats the bad guy with his own hooves, so to speak.
I love that so much. I'm actually currently learning the curve of having to not kill a mentor.
Uh-huh.
Because I have a character who really needs his mentor there. And I'm like,
Right.
oh dear. So his mentor's gonna stick around and we're gonna see what happens.
Yep, that's the
Um
same for Jerry as well.
it's like when a character really needs their mentor, like when they start this journey, especially if they're really young or really ignorant,
Hmm.
then they need their mentor way more
Yeah.
than any other character.
Yeah, they do. It really depends on what the main character is like. That decides whether or not the mentor dies.
So now our second question was one that I know a lot of people struggle with because you see this a lot in like media and sometimes even in stories like movies, books,
Hmm.
series, etc., etc. You see this issue a lot is having a mentor that is like almost overpowered, I guess. They're like overly
Uh,
wise, they're overly strong, like they're
uh-huh.
not balanced out. So what do you think about having an overwhelming mentor character? Is there a way to balance that out?
Um, well, I think overly wise mentors can be fun sometimes. Like I really liked Gandalf and Dumbledore. They seemed like very wise and very powerful. Uh,
They were definitely well written for what they were. They were well written because they're like, I could help you, but I'm not going to.
right. And but mentors can come in many forms. Really, what defines a mentor is how they help the hero. And the mentor could even have like a totally interesting personality. For example, my brother John, he's writing a story as well, and the mentor for his main character Clayton is named Pollux, and Pollux is pretty nasty actually. I mean, Gandalf is a little, you know, um, what do you call it?
Overpowered.
Yeah, or like a little
A little more on like the
nasty,
sage end. Like
right?
he knows what he's doing. He's
Uh
not
huh.
an amateur.
But Pollux is my brother John's mentor. He's pretty nasty at first, and he's pretty much of a jerk. So that really takes away from the overly wise part of him, even though he still helps Clayton train with the sword and everything.
That's There are a lot of mentor characters that are like that, and sometimes
Uh
those
huh.
kinds of mentors are my favorite because like you think of if you've ever seen Avatar the Last Airbender,
I've heard of it.
Sokka
Yeah.
ends up having a mentor, and his mentor is like really mean to him,
Uh
really
huh.
nasty, but like
Yeah.
still loves him and like wants to help him on his journey.
Right.
And so those kind of mentors are awesome, and I definitely think you're right in the fact that that tends to balance out them being wisdomous most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't even know if wisdomous is a word. I keep using it and I don't know if it's a word or not. But but yeah, I think that balances them out a lot.
uh huh. Yeah.
Now,
Just
oh,
one thing to add.
go
Uh,
ahead.
they also they also can have their own flaws and their own inner growth, which I think brings us into the next question, right?
That is what I was about to ask you. Is our next question is should you display a mentor's flaws within the story?
I think you definitely can. It depends on if you want it to be how deep you want your story to be. Usually, I see in really in depth stories, I see almost every character, at least every main character, has an arc or an inner journey. And for me, I did that with Travis. Travis learns that not everything is as simple as it seems on the surface, and that what seems good might actually be bad. He has to learn that in his own journey alongside Jerry, the main character, which is conquering his wimpiness and everything.
Yeah.
Um, but that adds depth to Travis, even though he's helping Jerry with his own inner journey at the same time.
Yeah, it's really cool when you get to have a mentor character that like has their own character arc
Uh huh.
despite like the fact that they're supposed to be helping the hero with their character arc.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool as long as it doesn't overpower the hero's character arc. Again, like when you have a mentor character and you give them a character arc, you need to make sure that it's not like overpowering the hero.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think honestly, in what I've read of your story, what I've read of the Dreamer, it
Yeah.
has been really you have balanced out Travis and Jerry perfectly. So I want to ask you. This is something I've wanted to ask you for a really long time.
Uh
Why a sheep?
huh.
Why Travis the sheep?
Honestly, I was trying to be as creative as possible, and I was trying to think outside the box while keeping in my own style at the same time. And a sheep just seemed to fit the genre of the story, the the subgenre, sort of, and it seemed to fit it really well. So yeah, this basically I didn't really know why I chose it actually.
That's actually like I love that though. I love that you were just like, you know what? Sheep. We're just gonna go with a sheep. I love
Yeah,
that.
like I
I've
could have done a
never
dragon, but
No, the sheep is better.
yeah, I
The sheep
agree.
is so much better. Like there have been a lot of dragon mentors, but I don't think
I
there's been
know.
a lot of sheep mentors.
Yeah.
Like
So
that's perfect.
I was trying to like stay away from the trope, I guess, and kind of
Yeah.
come up with my own thing. And I think it worked out pretty well.
I think it was phenomenal. So, going along with what we've just been talking about with your mentor character, Travis the sheep, why you chose a sheep,
Hmm.
but I also want to know how did you go about creating him? Like, how did you go about creating his personality and figuring out exactly what he was going to learn? And, like, we've talked about his
Uh-huh.
character arc a little bit. So, like,
Yeah.
what made you think of that?
So it's actually really funny. But at first, when I started this series when I was 12, um, Travis's personality was super narcissistic and very deadpan and sarcastic. And
I can
yeah,
kind of see that, but also not at the same time.
uh-huh. Yeah, his name was obvious. Don't ask me why I named it that, but in the future books, he developed into a more of an encouraging character for Jerry because Jerry really needed it because of his wimpiness. So yeah, he turned into like all smiles and life's all sunshine, you know. And
The
then
overly optimistic.
yeah, very optimistic. And at first, he was just he didn't have an arc. He was just there for Jerry. But now that I'm getting deeper into the story on my fourth draft, I've realized that I can give Travis an arc as well.
Wow, it's so crazy to think that you started this when you were 12 and you're
Uh
on
huh.
your fourth draft.
Yeah, it's
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
yeah, it's been a long journey. I've
I
stuck with
mean,
this idea for a long time.
that's awesome though. I absolutely love that. It took me like
Thanks.
3 years to write one novel. So I
Yeah.
applaud you for that.
Thank you.
So bringing it back to our mentor characters and just more of an overall thing,
Hmm.
what do you think the grand value of having a mentor character is? Why do you think they're so important?
Well, I think it's another tool that the main character can use to grow and overcome their own challenge. Sometimes it's too hard for the main character to do it all themselves, and it adds another dynamic to the story if someone wiser than them helps them out.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have for that.
I definitely agree with that. I definitely think that mentor characters are something that a main character needs a lot of the time that
Hmm.
we don't necessarily always give them. They're a great resource and a great tool. I've had to learn that a lot with my current main character and his mentor,
Uh-huh.
because basically my current main character is ignorant entirely. He doesn't know
Uh,
anything about the world as it is.
uh-huh.
He was kind of in a little bubble, and so he had to go outside his bubble. And when he did, he had several people treat him several different ways. So he was treated by his mentor as, okay, you know nothing, let me teach you.
Hmm.
And then we had his mentor's daughter, ironically, is the one that treats him like, you're ignorant, you must be an idiot
Yeah.
type
Yeah,
situation.
it's kind of interesting because I treat almost every character as a mentor, but because they all add to the main character's inner arc, which I think it has to be the main along with the story's message. The main character's inner arc is something I have to play off everything. So every character contributes to the arc, but I think the mentor contributes the most in kind of a different like I don't really know how to explain it. The dynamic between student and teacher.
Yeah.
That's what's special about a mentor.
Well, Adam, we have covered the importance of mentors, how to make them not overpowered, but how to also make them to where they add to the character's arc and how they help
Hmm.
our hero along their way. But we've also seen that they can have their own character arc and that they can have their own flaws and have their own story as well. So
Hmm.
I want to thank you for being here today. It has been so much fun getting to talk to you about this. And we hope that we'll see you in future episodes of the podcast. And thank you, our listeners, for being here for this episode. And we are just so excited to get to share all of this with you guys.
Hmm.
We will see y'all in future episodes.
Thank you so much. It was awesome.
It was awesome having you. All right. Bye, guys.